Biotic components. All the living beings make up the biotic component of the ecosystem. It includes plants, animals, and microorganisms. On the basis of mode of obtaining food, living beings present in an ecosystem are divided into three groups: producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers. The organisms which can make their food from simple inorganic substances present in the environment are called producers. Producers are also called as autotrophs. Green plants and a few bacteria are the example of autotrophs. All autotrophs make their food by the process of photosynthesis. During this process, autotrophs, in the presence of chlorophyll, by utilizing sunlight, synthesize organic food from the inorganic substances as carbon dioxide and water. The overall process of photosynthesis can be represented by following equation. 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll produce C6H12O6 plus 6O2. In the ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans, and other water bodies, you have observed many times some microscopic organisms float freely on the surface of water. These organisms are called as planktons. Some planktons contain chlorophyll and can synthesize their own food. Such planktons are called as phytoplanktons. All microscopic free-floating algae are phytoplanktons. Consumers. All those organisms which are unable to make their own food are called consumers or heterotrophs. They take ready-made food from the plants either directly or indirectly for their survival. All animals come in this category. Animals vary in size. Some are very small in size, while some are very large. The microscopic animals which float freely on the surface of water in a water body are called zooplanktons. Protozoa as paramecium, amoeba, and very small fish are examples of zooplanktons. Consumers can be further divided into three subcategories: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores. The animals which feed on the plants and the products are called herbivores. Cow, rabbit, monkey, goat, elephant, zebra, giraffe, squirrel, sheep, ass, ox, buffalo, horse, and hippopotamus, etc. are some of the examples of the herbivores. As the herbivores get their food directly from the plants, they are also known as primary consumers. Carnivores. The animals which feed on the flesh of other animals are called carnivores. The examples of carnivores animals are lion, tiger, wolf, snake, frog, vulture, kingfisher, lizard, and hawk, etc. Some small carnivores which feed on the herbivores are known as secondary consumers. For example, a frog that eats a grasshopper, herbivore, and a cat that eats a rabbit, herbivore, are the secondary consumers. Some larger carnivores which feed on small carnivores are called tertiary consumers. For example, a snake that eats a frog, carnivore, and a wolf that eats a cat, carnivore, are the tertiary consumers. The largest carnivores which feed on tertiary consumers are called quaternary consumers. The quaternary consumers are not eaten by any other animal, and thus they are also known as top carnivores. Example of quaternary consumer are eagle that feeds on snake and tiger which feeds on a wolf. Omnivores. Those animals which feed on plant as well as animal products are called omnivores. The examples of omnivores are man, bear, cockroach, crow, sparrow, dog, ant, etc. Some other consumers. In addition to above described consumers, there are two more types of consumers which are called parasites and detritivores. Let us read about them in brief. Parasites. Some consumers which live on or inside the body of other organisms to obtain the food are called parasites. Examples of parasites are tapeworm, liver fluke, and roundworm. Detritivores. Some consumers which feed on dead remains of plants and animals, detritus, and break it down into smaller fragments are called detritivores. Detritivores are also known as scavengers. Examples of detritivores are earthworms, termites, and vultures. Decomposers. Most of the microorganisms, such as bacteria and fungi, cannot synthesize their own food and feed on dead parts of the plants and animals, waste products, and animal excreta. Such type of organisms are called as decomposers. Decomposers secrete some enzymes on their food which break down the organic matter present in the food into simple small organic and inorganic substances. Some of these substances are absorbed by the decomposers, which are utilized by them to carry out the life processes, and rest are released into the environment for reuse as raw material by the producers. Various functions performed by the decomposers are given below. They clean the nature by decomposing dead parts of the plants and animals, waste products, and animal excreta. 2. They help in the recycling of the nutrients in the nature so that a balance is maintained in the nature. 3. They replenish various minerals and nutrients in the soil, as a result of which fertility of the soil increases.